It is a period of Star Wars mania, as new movies, comic books, novels, and TV shows populate the system. Fueled by their love and passion for the galaxy far, far away, two exceptional geeks tap into hundreds of holocrons in order to bring you the knowledge and insight of all things Star Wars. Come and join them as they go inside the Force.
Welcome back to Inside the Force. This is episode 46. I'm David Cottingham here with Casey Cooley.
Hello, everybody.
And welcome to a very special episode. We've got lots to talk about.
Packed.
No more rumors. We got some actual facts.
Yes.
Actual video. Got some good stuff to talk about, not just the new teasers from Star Wars Rebels, but we got some Clone Wars news.
A little bit of episode 7.
A little bit of episode 7. We got a brand new comic, number 14 of Star Wars.
Yep.
We got some Star Wars the card game announcement. It's packed.
Packed to the max.
And speaking of that, it's still episode 1 month.
Yes.
So we are profiling something from episode 1.
Yeah.
And we are going to continue on that with one of the high-ranking members of the Jedi Council.
Indeed. Man, being a few words.
Yes.
Never spoke.
And that is, how do I say this? Yarael?
Yeah, well,
no.
Yarael, I think is how I've heard it pronounced.
Yarael, that's right.
Yarael
Poof.
Yeah. Yarael Poof.
And basically, we're basing it off the robot chicken.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, Master Poof is, and that is Poof.
Yes.
He is if you don't know who he is the long-necked alien.
I think it's like always like his head's bobbing back and forth.
Right.
On the council. He's always just like.
And he's only seen in episode 1.
Right.
And we'll explain why.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he is definitely standing there whenever there's shots of the council. And when Anakin first gets there, the couple times that he is there, actually when Qui-Gon is first there addressing, and then when he's getting tested, Anakin is by Yoda and Mace.
Right.
So we picked him just because we knew at first, honestly, there wasn't going to be too much on him, but because we had so much to talk about. But we eventually want to kind of highlight a lot of Jedi Council members.
Yeah, maybe a Jedi Council month. Who knows?
Correct. Yes. And obviously there wasn't a Jedi Council button 1 and 2.
Yeah.
3 there was, I guess, in a sense, but most of them were kind of in the wars a lot, so they were holograms in a sense.
Yeah.
Most of the time. But anyway, so we'll dive right in, Master Poof, and before we get into all the news and stuff. But he is from the home world Quirmia.
Yeah.
He's Quirmian.
Yeah.
So he's Quirmian. That's their species. Now, what was this about their species?
Well, I found out that they are genetically created by Arcanian scientists from the DNA of the Xixto race. I don't know how to pronounce it. But basically, there was this race that looked like Cormians, but the Cormians were designed to be taller. I think to kind of act as bodyguards in a sense because these Xixtos were so small and puny. So that's basically it. There's a whole race genetically created.
Huh. Yeah, and of course, as most young Jedis, he was found after birth, pretty much, to be Force sensitive. Mm-hmm. So he was taken and they actually define it as the acquisition division to be recruited into the Jedi Order. Mm-hmm. The thing about him, which was very interesting too, is I guess I don't know if it's the species technically, but he is very, very highly skilled in what they call effect mind ability, which is basically a Jedi mind trick.
Right, but just beyond what we've seen in the movies.
Like, to a point where he doesn't even have to wield his lightsaber,
right?
In a sense.
Right.
He can basically defeat you with his mind.
Yeah.
project stuff,
Yep.
make you think stuff. I mean, I mean, basically
Makes
Jedi
you-
mind trick,
make
but
you see whatever he wants you to see.
correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
God, that would be freaking
Yeah.
powerful.
Like I remember reading some quick thing saying how he used a projection of a crate dragon or rancor,
to help some kids.
Yeah,
That he found.
crazy.
Yeah. So he just to scare off some guys, he didn't have to do anything. But of course, so by doing that and showing that power, he quickly moved up the ranks, became a Jedi Master, and in fact became one of the Council's 5 lifetime members.
Mm-hmm.
And now we talked about lifetime members, obviously, with Mace
Right.
and with Yoda, and I actually haven't looked up the actual other 2, but I didn't even know he was one of the 5.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm assuming Mace and Yoda were 2. And what that means basically is you're basically on the council until you choose to step down or until you pass.
It's like the Supreme Court.
Yes, in a sense, yes. So there's not obviously too much on him because unfortunately, by the time the movies hit, which is 32 BBY, obviously he was on that council deciding that Anakin should not be trained. Now 5 years late, well, actually real quick before actually episode 1 hits, there was an interesting story we found out. There was a situation called the Yukori Uprising. Now the Yukori are a reptilian type turtle-like species that are almost like gangsters in a sense. They're almost in a group, almost like in a gang, and they but the thing about it is they're immune to telepathic uses of the Force, including mind tricks. So there was a big uprising in Coruscant. The majority of the masters, including Yoda and some of the other ones, they actually left to go stop this uprising, which was happening in Coruscant. But while they were away, a group of the Yukori actually ascended into the temple and got into the Jedi temple. Now, Master Poof and several of the Jedis were there to fight and stop them, and obviously not being able to use his mind trick ability, he had to actually fight. So they fought and eventually killed them all and stopped them. But I thought that was interesting because obviously he's a very skilled lightsaber.
But that they infiltrated the Jedi temple just a little bit.
Interesting. Very interesting, yeah.
The gall to do such a thing.
Yeah. So then we get to episode 1, Discovery of the Chosen One, when he was sitting on the council deciding that Anakin should be trained. And then shortly after that, about 5 years after that, about halfway between episode 1 and episode 2, when things started developing as far as like the war and the separatists and all that stuff, there was a conflict going on with a radical named Ashar Korda. Now, Ashar Korda was planning to strike at one of the Republic's key worlds, Alderaan, Corellia, or Coruscant. So in order to stop him, the council basically sent a Master Jedi, one to each world. Opa Rancisis was sent to Corellia, Master Koth was sent to Alderaan, and Windu was actually going to search Coruscant, but then Master Poof actually volunteered and decided he was wanting to, because he was so... Now, the thing about it is he was using... Korda was using this relic, I think, right? Or it's like a statue?
Yeah.
To plan his attack. It was basically, I guess, a bomb in a sense. And Master Poof felt that since he was so tuned into, the mind senses using the Force, that he could find Korda better if he was on Coruscant. So, and that's when that story about the Rancor, as he was searching, he came across these kids that were getting bullied, and he used the Rancor to kind of shoo these people away. But eventually, he finds Corda and demands, he surrender and turn over the relic or whatever. And it was strange because right at that same time, a couple bounty hunters came in demanding the statue as well, and it was Zam Wessel and Jango Fett. And Zam, if you aren't familiar, she or he, he's a changeling. He's the one that's in the front at the beginning of episode 2 trying to kill Padme.
Right.
So they were there, and Poof actually formed an alliance with the two bounty hunters to actually stop Corda, and they did in a sense, but then right as Corda, who was wounded, wasn't dead yet, as Master Poof approached, Corda leapt up and actually stabbed Master Poof in the heart and killing the Jedi. So poor Master Poof dies in 27 BBY, and that is why you do not see him on the council in episode 2.
Replaced him.
They did replace him.
They had an empty chair.
So that is where his story ends, in a sense. But again, one of the 5 Jedis to become a lifetime member of the council.
Lifetime member.
Pretty crazy. I'll probably look that up, bro.
How many? What the other ones are?
The other ones are, I don't know who they are,
but no idea.
Anything? What else we got on Master Poof?
Not much.
It's strange. They kind of describe his traits and his personality. He's just described as a very peaceful, very talented with his mind.
His whole anatomy is cool. I think it talks about how he doesn't have a spine or something. He doesn't have a certain bone that normal, I guess, what humans would have, so he can contort himself in a shape that few creatures could. I guess that can help him defense or something like that. Just a weird looking guy, long neck.
This is interesting. When he first designed his lightsaber, he selected a yellow crystal.
Yeah,
which we'd never actually seen a yellow crystal.
Right.
However, he eventually switched to a sapphire crystal. Sapphire being purple. Is that
purplish?
Is that Mace's basically?
I guess sapphire. I think would be more of a pinkish, purplish thing, like star sapphire. It's a violetish.
Yeah, it's basically purple.
Yeah,
I would think. Which is weird because I don't think I've seen that. Unless it's Mace's. But anyway. So that is Master Poof.
Master Poof.
Episode 1. Oh, yeah, this is interesting. Actually, it also helped avoid a confusion. Oh, yeah. I didn't even realize he actually resembles the Camino.
Oh my gosh. Caminoians. I guess.
Yeah.
Caminoians.
Yeah. He actually resembles them.
It's true.
But he's not one of them.
Right.
So, different species.
You may think like you're them, but you're not.
But it mentions here that his absence from episode 2 helped avoid any confusion with them. So
that's why.
But anyway, I guess that's why.
So it's just he died.
All right, so that is the 3rd week of episode 1 month.
Yep.
Got one more week.
One more
Before we kick in episode 2. All right, moving on.
Great.
News.
What
we got?
All right, let's get into some first Clone Wars Season 6, or the final season, whatever you want to call it. It will be released on Netflix on March 7th. All the bonus content we've been told to get will be just released one whole chunk on Netflix March 7th. We're also going to get all the seasons of Clone Wars on Netflix, as well as the movie. And it's pretty cool. It says we'll get director's cut of the episodes, all whatever director's cuts there are of Clone Wars.
Right.
Which I'm going to watch the whole season again.
I guess.
Figure out what's different. I mean, I can't imagine.
Well, we've been wanting to go back and watch them in chronological order,
right.
in a sense.
Right.
There was a, and I don't think it's been updated since this next season's coming out, because I'm assuming this next season is definitely all after season 5, because
I would assume
Ahsoka's not. I don't think Ahsoka's in it.
I haven't seen Ahsoka. Yeah. True. So
True.
I
think the chronological order that they have in the episode guide right now, is the technically order. Which, if you look at it, there's seasons that are totally mixed up.
Absolutely.
And once you get into 4 and 5, it's pretty safe.
Yeah.
It's pretty straight through.
I go sometimes by how they're dressed. They have the armor in some places, and some they're more dressed like episode 3.
Yes,
that's true. Anakin and Obi-Wan. But that is basically, with this announcement, we got a clip from one of the episodes of Clone Wars, which is basically the Yoda-centric arc, about how he's trying to find some lingering question or something like that in the Force. Basically, the clip is Yoda's sitting in the meditation room or chamber, and he hears a voice from Qui-Gon. And Yoda's freaking out because basically it's impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Jedis are dead. No one can talk from the afterlife, even Jedi kind of stuff. That's all they gave us. So that seems to be pretty cool. That was basically relating to the source of the Force, whatever kind of thing that I talked about a couple weeks ago. That story arc. But that is basically, that's it, right? It's all.
It was interesting about that scene though, because I remember watching it, and I actually thought of him training Luke, and I was thinking because he was like so in disbelief, and I was just thinking like, at what point do you have to believe? You know what I mean?
Like Yoda disbelieving in that clip?
Right.
Yeah.
Like his face is like totally like, I don't believe this is happening. And it's like,
absolutely.
That's what Luke was doing
when
he was lifting the X-Wing out. He's like, I don't believe this. It's like, I was thinking like, at what point did Yoda just stop not believing in everything, and that everything was possible?
Yeah.
Like,
that's true.
Why wasn't that possible?
Yeah.
That he can hear someone.
It just
you know what I mean?
crossed your mind.
I guess. That never happened ever. I
guess so.
I guess we'll find out.
True.
But, that's all I thought about when I saw that clip. I was like, his look on his face was basically Luke's look.
He said it's impossible, right? Didn't he say that's impossible?
Yes, he said that's impossible.
Yeah, it's just.
And I was like, why would you say that? How can you say that's impossible when you think everything is possible?
That's probably why they chose that clip.
I guess, and maybe that's Yoda. And maybe that's that was the turning point for him. Like anything is possible. Mm-hmm. So I don't know.
Crazy. That was definitely Liam Neeson in that clip, right?
Yes, he is back voicing.
I'm glad he's doing this again.
I know
all his Qui-Gon stuff. It's awesome. So that's all the release from the Netflix, right? I mean, because Disney signed a huge contract with Netflix.
Correct.
And this is
the big news. Yeah, this is coming, and then the big news is that starting in 2016.
Oh yeah.
They are licensed. Netflix is going to be the provider of first-run content from not just Lucasfilm, but Marvel, Pixar, Disney Animation, Walt Disney. They're going to be providing Netflix with first-run television shows, movies.
I feel like that saved Netflix for life.
That is basically planting Netflix in a very big root, and they are not going anywhere for sure. I mean, this is not only are they killing it with their original content as well, but now they're getting getting Star Wars stuff. I mean, that alone.
I mean, do you think they'll put the movies on there?
Eventually, I think they will.
Yeah.
I do. I eventually think they will. I think we'll get like next summer. It'll maybe be like, gear up for episode 7. Here are all the movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You'll have. Now I'm wondering why, if they're ever going to put the 2D Clone Wars on there. I think they should do that too. I don't know why they haven't.
I would say they put Heck, put the droids cartoon.
Yeah, they might. They might put everything on there. I'm telling you. Even this holiday special.
Can Lucas say no to that?
Yeah, he probably did in his clause. Yeah. Like, this will never surface.
Last sentence. Oh yeah.
The holiday specials. No. No. I think the movies will eventually get on there. There's no doubt about that. I think.
Yeah.
Do you think? I don't think we've ever talked about this. Do you think we're really done as far as the final versions of the movies? Like, we won't get any more tinkering? Like, I'm wondering if that's it.
I feel like it is. I mean, I don't know if Lucas would feel like going back to it now.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have to be from him. I wouldn't think Disney would try to do.
That's the thing, is that could have been his thing too. Is like, I have a couple more things I want to still do.
Sure.
Let me do it. You know.
But if they want to add shoot some like that deleted scene you're talking about, Bail Organa.
Mm-hmm.
If they want to do something like that to add to.
Yeah, but I'm still thinking of.
I don't know.
I'm still thinking of even like effects work. That needs to be improved. But
if they want to, sure.
I'm wondering if that'll get fixed at all, or
I'm fine if they. I mean, of course, I want them to change stuff. I mean, we both want them to change stuff. If they don't, I can live with it.
Yeah,
but yeah, that'd be cool if they did.
I mean, yeah, my thing is mainly effects. My thing is fixing.
Yeah,
some of the effects that still are kind of poor. Not poor, but not matching. They still haven't gotten all the lightsabers right. Yes. They really haven't, and I think that needs to be fixed. But anyway, that's pretty much all. I think that's all the Clone Wars stuff, really. March 7th, check it out, all 13 episodes.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be great. So bouncing from Clone Wars to Rebels, this past week has been huge for Rebels.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much right after we aired last week's show, we started getting all this stuff, and it first started with an introduction to a new character for Rebels called Kanan. I'm pretty sure that's how you would pronounce it. Kanan. There is a last name. I don't see it in front of me right now, but there is a last name. Anyways, it is a Jedi. Kanan will be a Jedi, and he's like a full-fledged Jedi, it looks like. It looks like he is he's been around. And he'll be voiced by none other than Freddie Prinze Jr., and that's super awesome. I think that's such a cool, very good casting. I think he's good. I've always loved him. But there's a quote from Freddie Prinze Jr. talking about Kanan, saying that he's definitely has seen more. Talking about the character, has seen more than what a young man should see, and what he had to see was pretty much the worst thing you would have to witness. So. That sounds pretty intense. Maybe he isn't necessarily from the old order or from the Jedi Order, or maybe he was a kid during that time. Maybe he was a youngling or something, during the Order 66, and saw, maybe that's what he's meant by a young man who's seen something horrible. Maybe he saw his friends get killed or something like that by the stormtroopers or clone troopers. So pretty cool. And there was a toy fair that kind of happened just recently, like the 2014 Toy Fair or something like that. And Rebels had a huge presence there where they basically released what seems like most of their starring cast of characters for Rebels. And I'm going to try to find all these characters here. I have an article pulled up. So we have, in addition to Kanan, we have a character called Zeb, who is a creature. I don't know. I don't see like the species. But Zeb, this character, this kind of big buff-looking creature, is based off Ralph McQuarrie's early concept art of Chewbacca from 1975. And you can look up this concept art on Google, basically. But Chewbacca didn't always look like a Sasquatch, basically. He looked like he had skin, but he was like purple, still alien-looking. That's basically what Zeb is going to look like. And we have, they released this poster with all these characters, and there's a poster, on the poster you have Chopper, the astromech droid that we talked about, Kanan, Zeb, you have a Mandalorian female, or a female in Mandalorian armor, that is. And everybody was like, oh my gosh, it's Ahsoka in disguise, this is crazy. Turns out, it's not Ahsoka. It is another character called Sabine, I assume, I don't know, Sabine. And there's another female character, Twi'lek, her name is Hera Syndulla. And this is actually, I didn't know this, Syndulla, now I can remember the name now. That is a character from the Clone Wars. We see her in the Clone Wars together with a character called Cham Syndulla. And I'll show you, Dave, quickly, just the photo. I mean, I don't remember her really, but the name sounds familiar. Syndulla sounds familiar.
Yeah. That's the same person?
The girl behind that character, Cham, I kind of remember Syndulla, that name.
Yeah, so the Twi'lek in the back.
The Twi'lek in the back is her.
That's the same character?
Yes.
Oh,
so
wow.
That's what this article says. I'm sure it's been confirmed by someone at the event.
Do we know, real quick, when this timeline, when this happens?
14 years.
Is 14 after episode 3?
I think so, yeah. I think so.
Oh, okay. So it's 5 years before episode 4.
Yeah, it's pretty specific. I'm pretty sure it's 14 years. They have said like a year. Let me see.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure like 14 years after. It's closer to episode 4 than it is to episode 3, definitely. It's been confirmed that R2-D2 and C-3PO will be in Rebels.
Yeah. Because technically the Alliance actually didn't establish until right before episode 4.
This is literally the seeds.
This is like literally starting
these small group of characters.
Yeah.
Doing these little skirmishes, I think. It'll get bigger.
Yeah, because there's no mention yet of there's Mon Mothma or Bail Organa or anything like that. Yeah.
There's a new Imperial Agent Callus. Just looks like an Imperial guy. Kanan, as I said. Inquisitor, of course, we all know. A young gentleman by the name of Ezra. He also has a last name I don't have in front of me. Ezra is like this young kid, and there's pictures from the teasers that I will talk about too as well. He is on Lothal, and he's not a Jedi, but he's Force sensitive. And the character is described as basically knowing he has these strange powers, doesn't know what it is. He doesn't know about the Force because I'm sure he was probably born soon after Order 66, where the Jedi were basically illegal and declared extinct or whatever, or endangered species. And so this Ezra guy, this kid has these powers, doesn't know what to do with them, so he's just a confused kid. He just, and I'm sure that's where Kanan will come into play and help him out. And that's basically all the main characters that have been released so far, which is pretty huge, pretty big week. And as I just said, there have been 2 teaser trailers released.
Yes.
That will air, I believe, this Tuesday night or sometime around some show. Two trailers, and they're titled. There's one called Spark, one called Ignite. Super teaser trailers. Not much going on. There's some narration, just showing some landscapes, some shots, and Ezra's in it. Yeah. Ezra is featured in quite a bit of it, so looks pretty cool. I mean, it's a good little teaser. Nothing too crazy is in it, but
yeah. Now I could see where the backgrounds are very, Ralph McQuarrie looking,
right?
But technically, it still looks like the Clone Wars.
It does. I love though the sounds. Like you hear the TIE fighter sounds.
Totally.
It sounds like
it sounds like Episode 4.
Yes.
It sounds like the original trilogy, which is what they were going for.
They're playing the original music.
Exactly. Like I told, because Chad was watching it with me today, and I was like, during the Clone Wars, you never heard that
True.
You never heard that music.
Yeah.
So that is awesome that they got the original score in there.
Because their whole mission is to make it feel more like Episode 4. Mm-hmm. And I think they're really good.
I think they're doing it
well.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome. So, Ezra, I could talk a little more about the characters, but you guys can look it up or just wait. But that's the big highlights of the week. Now, there is a little bit from Episode 7. Lucasfilm, and we didn't even actually talk about this, but Lucasfilm kind of revamped their website. And they've added, it's pretty cool too, check it out, Lucasfilm's website, but their website now has some new pictures, like in the production category, lucasfilm.com, if you guys want to look at it. And if you go to their, to like the What We Do section and click on their production subcategory, you'll see immediately this photo that is of a production meeting amongst the heads of the departments or something like that of Star Wars Episode 7. You see Kathleen Kennedy there. You see the back of J.J. Abrams' head and some designers. And probably another producer. I don't know these other guys. But the most important detail in this photo is basically what's around these people. And you see tons of these artwork hanging around, and some of these images are familiar. If you look close enough, you can see a little bit from the original trilogy, you can see a little bit from the prequel trilogy. But the two things that everybody's been talking about is this, or one really big thing, is this image behind this guy who's in the center of the picture. An image where it looks almost exactly like the Millennium Falcon, which I guess 90% sure that there is a picture behind him of the Millennium Falcon flying over some planet. Everybody's saying that this is concept art from Episode 7, and they're saying, the Millennium Falcon's confirmed or whatever. I'm pretty sure it'll be in there regardless, but it's just a cool little, is this something that, J.J. Abrams, knowing how viral marketing crazy he is this, did they use a specific image to show little snippets of some concept art from Episode 7? Because you see an image to the right of that Falcon concept art of some planet that we've never seen before, of some about canyons. Looks like maybe it could be Alderaan. No, it's not Alderaan because this is Episode 7. Well, it looks like some planet we've never seen before. But there's just so much going on in this photo that leaves the mind to wander. Because they have photos on the table scattered all over the place. There's a TV monitor, and these two guys on the left are looking up at something. It looks awesome. It's exciting. Yes. They're sitting right there. They're discussing Episode 7.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Pretty neat. And so we'll be getting more. These next couple months.
We got to, man. We got to get a casting list here soon.
We'll get that soon.
Yeah, we got to get.
There was this kid who did the open casting call auditions, talked about how he got further along in the audition process, and he actually auditioned scenes from the movie. So it's just they have to have the cast now. They have to have it nailed down. So we should be getting that pretty soon.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yep. All right, and that's big stuff.
That's good news.
Good news.
That's all. That's all fact.
Facts.
No rumors there.
Take that to the bank.
Take that to the bank.
This
past Wednesday. So it was last week. We got the new issue of Star Wars from Dark Horse Comics, number 14.
Yes.
Written by Brian Wood. And this is the part two, basically, of Vader going around trying to find out the rebel or the Imperial spy.
Yeah.
That was, in fact, a rebel. And this is him kind of, the last time we talked about this, number 13, he was basically gathered up a group of elite stormtroopers, kind of grabbed a pilot.
Just some random girl.
Yeah. And who never around Vader and
yeah.
was traveling around the galaxy trying to gather up clues and everything. And then this is kind of the conclusion of that, where he's really cool beginning of this issue where it's from episode 4.
Right.
He's basically dreaming the fight with Obi-Wan.
I would say it was like a forced dream. It was actually
pretty much
Obi-Wan was actually there.
Yeah,
like a forced spirit.
It's pretty crazy. Kind of saying, is this Anakin? Or he was calling him Anakin, but he's like, is this Luke Skywalker? Is that who?
Yeah, who is he? Who is this Luke Skywalker?
Yeah,
I guess he doesn't think it's a son.
I guess not.
He thinks
not
it's
right
someone
now.
else.
Yeah,
which he would have no reason to think it's a son.
Right.
I thought he was dead. I love how they are connecting it to the prequels.
Awesome. Yeah, it's awesome. So anyway, very cool issue where he's on the trail and he ends up coming across he ends up going to Alderaan and coming across the Star Destroyer that Leia had encountered.
Right.
The old admiral that's on that ship. And then, of course, interesting take on where you actually see Vader's power, basically, with these stormtroopers. It's very, very violent.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, kind of, not spoiling it too much, but basically they're ordered something different than what Vader had ordered them, and
it's like the troopers' order trumps Vader. And
it came from Imperial Center,
Yes,
basically.
yeah.
So anything coming from Imperial Center, which is the Emperor, basically, is over Vader. So Vader didn't take too kindly to that. So very awesome. You have to read it to find out what he does at the end. But
again, I love the cover.
The cover's awesome. Yeah. It's got Obi-Wan, Alec Guinness, man. I mean, so yeah, very cool issue. And just this book is just awesome. If you're a Star Wars fan, you need to be reading it. We're going to pick back up the next issue with the Rebels, with Leia and everything, because they're in a very cool situation, a very crazy situation where she's about to get married, basically, in order to further the rebellion. So anyway, that's a great issue. Go check that out. Again, Brian Wood, Dark Horse Comics. You only got this year. Then it's going to go to Marvel.
Yeah.
And who knows if they're going to, I'm assuming they're going to create all new stories. So pretty cool issue. And of course, literally today, we got word on the final Force pack for Star Wars The Card Game of the Echoes of the Force cycle that hopefully starts next month. This is the 6th Force pack in that, and the final one called Darkness and Light. And this mainly focuses on the objective set that they reveal was the Jedi side, and it has a lot to do with shielding. Now, shielding is basically the ability to place a shield on one of your units.
Right.
When it enters an engagement, you can either shield you can just shield another unit, you can shield your objective if you're getting attacked. But a lot of that has to do with that. Now they're diving in these Force packs. They're diving heavily into the expanded universe because
absolutely
this again has another one. Now that doesn't really describe him as a Jedi, but they say he's a Force user. So I don't know his whole background, but he was because it says he was just a former Padawan. Right. I don't know if he actually became a knight.
That's weird because all these characters are coming from very obscure, expanded universe, like video game, computer games, or some kind of comics or short stories. It's really it's weird how they're drawing from it.
And what's crazy is that all these may never be actually real people.
Yeah.
Once the
well, the card game they're kind of doing.
They're doing their own thing. Yeah, they're not Lucasfilm tied. So, but anyway, his name is Ferris Olin. And he is he's a Force user. Very, very good card. It seems like, as far as he's cost 4. He's got 3 damage, but he's got 3 Force icons, and he's got a couple unit blast,
It's not bad.
It's not a bad card.
Yeah, he's not an elite though, which I think is stupid.
Yeah, it's very stupid. He does have an interrupt on his card ability. When an event card is played, remove a shield from this unit to cancel its effects. Now, that is pretty awesome.
Yes.
Because the reason I say that is because he also comes with 2 droids in his objective set. And the 2 droids, which are just 1 cost, the droids have a reaction. And that is, after you remove or discard a shield from a unit, focus this unit to place that shield on a different target-friendly unit. Or you can put it on the same.
Yeah. Put it back on him.
You can put it right back on him, which means you can cancel something and put it right back on him, and then you just wait to cancel it. You can just cancel stuff all over the place. It's just really cool.
Look something up.
Combination.
Look up Ferris Olin real quick. And I kind of remember this guy. He's actually he was a former, he was around the Clone Wars time, like he knew Anakin Skywalker, but he died 1 ABY. So they're like
1 ABY?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So they're like they're kind of on the edge there with
right around, yeah.
But yeah. Anyways.
So that is the so again another another Force pack coming out.
Yeah.
It's funny because they showed like a group of cards here, and they got Salacious Crumb.
Yes, they do.
Coming.
Yeah.
I can't read. I think he only has a tactic. It looks like he has an edge-enabled tactic, it looks like.
Yeah.
And he's got something like, after this says something like, after this unit enters play, remove something from a target character unit. Blank unit is job if it's Jabba, remove up to so remove 1 and maybe it's removed up to 2 for Jabba or something like that. But anyway,
they should have made that card just like totally useless and annoying.
I know.
It doesn't do anything.
I love my scum deck, but I do not see me putting him in there. I do not see me putting him in there.
It's like you didn't do anything in the movie. He just laughed and got shocked and jumped to the ceiling.
I don't know about that.
But they have the smuggler objective, which talks about Ewoks, because they have an Ewok objective they had with a long time ago.
The core set, right?
Yeah, that no one's ever used. But no, with this whole, I mean, we'll talk about this more on Star Wars TCG.
I think there's more Ewoks coming in this.
But
yes, Star Wars TCG.
Because I feel like including that Jedi objective, if I did, I would probably change out some other things because there's other shielding objectives, like some neutral ones that would definitely help that.
And there's some shielding rebels that they talk about.
So that
might be a good combination. If you can get a lot of shields on stuff, you'd be well protected.
Yeah.
So, and especially help with that, with him and with that droid, you can cancel effects. And
yes, that's so cool.
I mean,
that's so cool. You need that for the Sith. And
then, I mean, there's one here, like it comes with this enhancement to your player. It's an action. Remove a shield from a unit you control to give that unit a unit damage or blast damage.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So if he attacks,
can you create like a loop? We'll talk about that TCG. But you can probably create a loop or something.
You probably could with the actions and reactions.
Read about that more.
Yeah, crazy. But anyway, yeah, we got a Star Wars TCG actually card game podcast. StarWarsTCG.com. Check that out. We'll dive way more into this coming up. With that, not this weekend, but next weekend, because we are every other Saturday with that episode.
Yeah.
All right, so jam-packed. Again, though, before we do some trivia, I will mention my daughter's web series still. is the second episode. Should be out by the time you listen to this. Yeah. I'm working on it right now, actually. Star Wars quotes. Quotes from a 4-year-old, basically, is what it's called. Check that out on YouTube, not our network YouTube channel. This is our 21 Productions, so it's youtube.com/21pro. That's spelled out 21pro. Go there. There's a playlist right there. You can listen. You can watch both episodes so far, and that'll be kind of a weekly series as long as she doesn't stop wanting to do it. We got her a good quote too this time. This is a real good one. So check that out. All right. Let's get some episode 1 trivia in here. Yeah. What's the
so just one or 0 to or 1 to something like.
What's the date? 2/16, 2/17.
Today's 2/17.
Let's do 2/17. How about that?
Okay.
All right, 2/17. Okay, here we go. 2/17. The question for episode 1: how many eyes do Gran have?
Oh, I should know that species.
How many eyes do Gran have? I don't remember Gran. Is it? Okay.
I think it's like Gran or Gran.
So A4, B3, C2, D1.
Oh.
So the species.
I think I know what it
Gran
is.
is a species, right? Is that what they're referring to?
I'm pretty sure I know what this is. Okay, so it's do the things again.
A4, B3, C2, D1.
4, 3, 2, 1.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Gran. Okay.
How many eyes do Gran have? I think I'm just guessing, but I think I know the species.
I think I do too.
I think if it's the one I'm thinking about, I think I know. How many eyes do Gran have? I think it's I think it's the right
two
series.
answers right here. I'm trying to just decide it.
In fact, because I'm not sure what the species is. I
want to go with
my head.
I'm gonna go with 2.
You go with 2? I'm gonna go with 3.
Okay, I was gonna say 2 or 4.
Oh, okay.
I'll go 2. I'm probably wrong.
I'm gonna go with 3. I'll choose 3. Okay,
right, go for
so
it.
B, 3. Ding, 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 ding. Now, I think it's the three-eyed. That's what I'm thinking. If I think I know what the ground in my head, I think I know the species.
Oh, those guys, yeah.
Let me see.
Oh.
Yes, that's what I was thinking of.
Something else.
That's what I was thinking of.
Because I was trying to think of episode 1 species. And I was like,
Yeah, they were. Remember,
they were
in the counts. They're the ones that said the commission must be sent.
Yeah.
You know that's the only reason I thought of that. I was like, I remember those guys.
I'm thinking of something else. That's good.
So you were thinking of somebody else.
Yeah.
So what was the 4? What species were you thinking about?
Well, I'm trying to think of like. It was in the only scene I can think of is episode 4 of the cantina, like the tiny little thing at the bar.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's like makes that wah, 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 or whatever.
Yeah.
Mousy kind of sound. But yeah, good job, Grand. So is that you 3 up now?
Now I'm 3 up. That's
30
30 and 18. Casey is 27 and 21. Still above 500 though.
Yeah.
You're pretty good for 500, but I'm kind of pulling away a little bit. No, back and forth. All right, that's good. Good stuff. Again, check us out, InsideTheForce.com. We are on Twitter at Inside the Force. We're on Facebook with the 21 Network at /21 Network. Check Casey out on Twitter at Kryptonian1138. I am D Cottingham21. You can listen to all our episodes right there on the website, or you could subscribe to our YouTube, or you can subscribe to us on iTunes. Our RSS feed is right there, and then our network 21/21 on YouTube. We'll have some accompanying videos there. We're mainly doing a series called Camera One, short little videos that we will talk about. I actually did the last one I did was about the Clone Wars thing.
Yeah.
Announcing that, so that's a little news thing that comes up. We'll I got to get Casey to do one here.
Yeah, I almost did one last week, but I couldn't get myself to look good enough.
Jeez,
So.
It's Camera One. That's what it means.
It's raw,
down and dirty. Doesn't matter. I do it right here.
Yeah,
right before I go to bed. All right, so check us back out next week as we close episode 1 month, and then we'll get into episode 2, obviously, in the month of March. Again, check out our new series, Star Wars Quotes from a 4-Year-Old, at our 21 Productions YouTube channel, /21 Pro. Again, we got Star Wars TCG. That's the Star Wars the card game. If you're getting into that, listen to that podcast. We are part of the 21 Network. Get all of our podcasts right there at that website, 21network.com. You could subscribe there to all our podcast, or just listen to the latest episodes right there on the site. So, for Casey Cooley,
they didn't have calamari pizza because Mon Calamari are people, and I did not know that. So we're about Chicken 3, or Star Wars Episode 3. We're about
that
Chicken.
I forgot to mention that.
Poof.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that. That is like one of the greatest things.
It's so funny. I love the part where he's like, "Oh, this is a council now."
Yeah.
It's not just you two?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Because they think about it's always Mace Windu and Yoda talking.
I know.
It's never anybody else.
Kiadi Mundi says a lot sometimes too, but
he always gets a stink eye too. Is he?
Yoda's
Shut
like,
up.
I suggest Master Poof get the pizzas.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's my job to get the pizzas now, huh?
And he goes to Yaddle's like, "Yeah, can I borrow your car?" He's like, "Oh, it's in the shops." I just saw it downstairs. No, insurance and all that. It's like,
oh man. Now I will mention that I did look up while we were talking. I did look up the lifetime members.
okay,
And I remember actually, did we profile Plo Koon?
we did. I was thinking he was one of them.
Yeah, Plo Koon is a lifetime member. Mace Windu, Yoda,
And Ural, so it's 4.
Yeah, and then it's actually the one of the ones I mentioned while we were profiling Poof was Oppo
Oh, the
Rancisis.
guy.
You ever seen him? He is
Probably
crazy.
I mean,
looking.
probably. Was this the beard?
Yes. Wow.
Actually, they reference him in the Robot Chicken. That's Dogface, I think. But I remember his face. But
yeah, I didn't know who that was, but he's a lifetime member as well. So there's 5 of them, and those are the 5. And then there's actually what they actually call long-term members, and then lifetime members is what.
yeah,
and then there's there's a couple limited term members, which Ki-Adi-Mundi was actually a limited term member, and so was Adi Gallia. Anyway, but we'll get into that eventually when we do more Jedi's stuff. So, all right, that will do it for Inside the Force this week. Thanks for checking us out. Keep coming back every week because there's going to be bound to be more big news from Lucasfilm and Disney. Can't wait for that Star Wars Rebels, man. Can't wait to get some content. All right, so for Casey Cooley.
Goodbye, everybody.
I'm David Cottingham. May the Force be with you.
This has been a production of the 21 Network. For more great podcasts, visit 21network.com. To view additional content, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/21network. Follow us on Twitter at 21network for the latest news and updates. The 21 Network, for the fan and all of us.